Welcome to I Think's workshop on Journey to Joy, Wellness, and Wholeness. Attending the conference Journey to Joy, Wellness, and Wholeness. My name is Josie Fung. I'm the executive director of I Think. We're a charity organization here in Toronto, in partners with the Toronto District School Board. And I'm here joined by Manon Gardner. Manon, would you like to introduce yourself?
Thank you. Good morning. Bonjour. Mon nom est Manon Gardner. My name is Manon Gardner, and I joined, I think, a number of years ago while I was working with the TDSB. I retired from the TDSB from the associate directorship about 4 years ago. And over the last 20 years or 15 years or so, pardon me, worked closely with the I Think organization in terms of providing support, providing workshops for staff and students. And after retirement, I went and worked with Josie and her team again. So this is where we are right now, and very pleased to be presenting to you today. Thank you.
Hi, Nira. Are you joining the workshop today?
Hi, Manon.
Oh, hi, Nura.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Excellent. I am only support, but I'm going to pop in and out from sessions just to see if you need anything.
Excellent. Thanks, Nura.
Okay.
Thank you.
So even if there's no one attending live in the room right now, should we just continue recording and running through our workshop?
Were you told to do it anyway?
Yeah.
No. Were we?
I'm not sure. But if there is no one, what I know is this is going to be a record that will be posted later on. It will be posted. So if you want to do it, you're welcome. But if you have no one, I guess you have to make a decision whether you want it to be posted or not.
Oh, yes. Let's do it.
Okay, perfect.
We'll post it. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Nura.
So
Thank
I'll
you.
see you later. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So I'd like to share this land acknowledgement. The land we are meeting on is the traditional territory of many nations, including Mississauga of the Credit, the Anishinaabeg, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people. I also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13, signed the Williams Treaties, and signed with multiple Mississaugas and Chippewa bands. Thank you. And I'd just like to introduce, I think, we're an education charity located in Toronto. We were born out of the University of Toronto, the Rotman School of Management, and our mission is to transform classrooms into vibrant hubs of confidence and optimism. Our approach is simple yet powerful. We equip students with problem-solving skills they need to thrive in a complex world. Why? Because the world is a really complex place, and we know that some of the skills that students will need are skills that are not easily taught in the classroom. We believe that when we give real-world problems to students in their classrooms, it gives students the opportunity to build the skills they need and the tools they need to navigate their life with resilience and purpose. So let me tell you a little bit more about the work we do and who we serve. We serve, how we call it, capable, curious, courageous students. And that's probably every student in your home, every child in your home, everybody who is in the walls of the TDSB schools. We also work with the Hamilton Wentworth District School Board, the Halton District School Board, the Hamilton Wentworth Catholic District School Board, and York Region, as well as many other school boards across Ontario. We've actually been around for over 10 years, doing all sorts of work that is really deeply meaningful to us, and all focused around building the skills of 21st century for students. And those skills in particular that we really focus on are creativity, collaboration, and critical thinking. And so those are skills that are taught in all kinds of classrooms. But what's different today? Well, the work that we know is that there have been research around the world that has indicated that young people are not as hopeful as they used to be. Students express that they don't believe their lives will be as good as their parents. They believe that they have a feeling of persistence, helplessness, and sadness and hopelessness. And that arises from a lot of different challenges. It could be from climate change. It could be from war. It could be some of the anxiety that they're feeling post-pandemic. Although there are a number of challenging and different reasons, the results are still terrifying and scary. Young people feel anxious, they're depressed, they feel hopeless, and they feel loss of control. Research, even out of the Student Mental Health Ontario, has indicated that students are looking for ways for them to be able to feel like they have hope, they have joy, that they have the opportunity to learn and to make the most of their lives. So let me tell you a story. This is Naima, and Naima isn't one particular child in the TDSB. She's a compilation of all the children we know. Let's say she's in grade 6. She loves soccer, her favorite subject is art, and she loves school because that's where her friends are. Naima's a typical student. And in a typical student, some of the challenges they face in the classroom are that even though they may be doing well and having access to resources, or may not have access as many resources as they would like, the challenge with Naima and the challenge that we face is that they feel like they can't solve the problems that are out there in the world. Many ways, in the same ways that adults ourselves, we don't feel like we can solve those problems because they're large and they're scary. Here's the challenge: is that if you don't have young people who have hope and confidence and optimism for the real world in the future, what are we left with? What we need to do, and what we believe I think's purpose is to ensure that we're helping to build the problem-solving skills that students need to foster engagement, mattering, and accomplishment. So why do we talk about engagement, mattering, and accomplishment? Those are three concepts that are nested in this idea of what people need to thrive. And through research from the University of Pennsylvania, what we've seen is that when people are thriving, when they're engaged, they feel like they have a community, that they care about the world around them. When they have mattering, where they believe that they can make a contribution to solving the challenges, their point of view matters, that they have agency in the world around them, and that they have a sense of accomplishment. This is when young people in general, are well. And when people are well, they can learn. Now, here's the thing we've also learned is that it actually is not about just teaching these concepts to help people feel the sense of engagement, mattering, and accomplishment. It's not just about naming them. It's about giving them the skills that they need in order to have that come true in their lives on an everyday basis. And so this is what I think does. I think goes into schools, we work with educators to identify what is a community problem and a real world problem that students and the community around them cares about. How can you center that challenge as a problem that students can solve? We then layer in thinking frameworks. These are frameworks that have been researched at the University of Toronto, University of Pennsylvania, and Harvard University in order to be able to identify what are the methodologies that we can give, what are the frameworks that we can offer young people so that they can think through problems and move through problems with grace and confidence. Then we also connect the work that we do with the curriculum. Curriculum is the backbone of our education system in Ontario, and we want to make sure that not only are students excelling and succeeding on problem solving writ broadly, but specifically around their subjects of science, math, English, literacy, history, geography, world studies. These are all different curriculum items that are important and have been designed within the curriculum and need to be fostered and furthered within thinking frameworks that that students can use through their problem solving. And so the research that we've identified is that, and the research that we've done is that the programs that we deliver to schools, where we work with teachers and teachers work with their students, is that students develop that sense of engagement, mattering, and accomplishment. In engagement, we talk about the idea of creativity and resilience. Do students have the ability to imagine beyond their current constraints, beyond what is currently happening in front of them? And what we saw was over 22% increase in students who described themselves as being able to imagine possibilities and exceed and approach complex challenges. In mattering, we also saw that through creativity, collaboration, critical thinking, very critical skills, could demonstrate how important the students' thinking was to the collective of problem solvers and thinkers that they were collaborating with. over 1/4 of them felt that they could demonstrate a deeper understanding of their importance in the context of problem solving and accomplishment. We all need accomplishment in our learning and in our everyday lives. This is about how do we identify the concepts that we need to understand, as well as able to challenge those misconceptions. That level of deep learning was incredibly important in order to support um, uh, the sense of accomplishments among students. This research indicates that community-connected challenges equip students with critical problem-solving skills, creativity, collaboration, and critical thinking. All this data helps us confirm the positive impact on these skills. If you can excuse me for just a moment, I just have to pause. Sorry about that. I hope they can edit that out. In sum, the work that we do is all about helping us unlock classrooms, because this is where your child spends 8 hours, 7 hours a day, 5 days a week. This is where and place where they can connect with their learning, with their peers, with their community, where they can connect and realize that they have a place in the world where they can challenge those really large, challenging problems that we face with confidence and optimism. That's what I think is here that we're all about. And so Manon's going to take a few minutes now to share a little bit about some of the actual challenge kits that we use in classrooms.
Thanks, Josie. So what I will do is go through the offerings that we have and the work that we've done with the school boards that Josie has mentioned at the very beginning. And what we've done is we've looked at real world problems, problem solving skills, critical thinking, and see what is relevant to students, what's relevant to our community at large, etc. So we've bundled a number of lessons through what we call them challenge kits. So I'll present to you 3 challenge kits that we are offering right now. The one you're looking at is a grade K to 12 challenge kit, and we call it Building Community or Rebuilding Community. And basically, we're looking at schools, we're looking at community, local communities, and say, how can we give an identity, redo the identity that could have been broken from various reasons. The pandemic certainly brought and kind of disjoin a number of people because they couldn't see each other as much. We also have, depending on the school boards, et cetera, where school programs are moved to another school. How do we build a community, a sense of belonging? And through this challenge kit, we've asked the big question, and you see that on the right, how might we build or rebuild community at our school? And we do exercises in terms of questioning, lessons, gathering information on how to go about it. Can you move to the next slide, please? So what you have on the right also is basically the recommendations that students have done. And to give you an idea, we have the big questions, how can we build and rebuild our community at our school? And then we have a number of activities with teachers and students, of course, of what is the community right now at our school? What do you entail by community? What do you understand by community? And students gather information, and then they start looking at, do we have a community? Can we reinforce and strengthen that community in our school? And if so, how? And the end result is really recommendations from students about how they could impact on the school community in this instance. And if you look at the slide, it looks at some of the students up on the right-hand side decided to create more clubs where they have affinities, where they have interests, common interests, so they can talk. They can talk to others, and they can share and feel good about what they do, feel that they do matter, like Josie mentioned earlier, and that there's a sense of accomplishment. The part on the right, the bottom, is basically giving suggestions on how to go about it to build community. So not all of it can be exactly done, because depending on what it entails, but what it does, it brings students around and to gather around that question and to bring suggestions that could be done, that could be actually done and impacted, and that belong to them, which is extremely important. So this particular challenge kit is a K to 12. So you can imagine that it's a bit different from K to 6 to 7 to 12, depending on the age of the students and what they really see and understand about community. Next slide, please. This is a second challenge kit that we've offered this year. We started in the spring. So this is grade 6 to 12. And you might be a bit tired of hearing about AI everywhere, but what we really wanted was to pose the question to students and to teachers, but certainly to students, on how AI might enrich their lives and possibilities for all the students at the school. So it's not of loving it or hating it, is how can this, because we're going to be living with AI for a long time and for years to come. So how can we deal with the concept of AI, with the reality of AI, while thinking about bias, information, misinformation, etc., and also to protect ourselves? You've heard, certainly at the TDSB and other boards and out in your workplace, potentially, about all of the AI tools that we have. So we tried to really have a sense from the students, this is why it's grade 6 to 12, of what the tools are, what they entail, and what to look for, so that the students can have some control of what is happening. And they not just saying you can no longer do this, you cannot do this, but to really be able to make some decisions about it in some capacity. Next one, please. And this is some of the results that we've had with teachers, with schools, etc., where they have some input in terms of what it will look like and sound like at their school. What will be allowed in their classrooms or not? What will they look for when they look for AI? What will they do after school with AI? Because we want the students to live the experience in some capacity. And just like for the challenge kit for the community, we have recommendations that you can see. And what we do in each of our challenge kit is to close it. We do have a celebration of thinking, where students really reflect on what they've done, what they've heard, what they've learned, etc., so that they can put together some recommendations. Some of those recommendations, depending on the topic, can go to their principals, can go to their teacher, etc. And then it's a matter of how can we potentially pick 1 or 2 recommendations that are feasible, so that we show that the students had some say into the matter, and in this case, the matter of AI. So the AI Challenge Kit has been extremely popular with our team this year because everybody wants a piece of it. People don't fully understand it, and I'm not sure when we will fully understand it, but we are not there to give answers. We are there to give guidelines and some problem-solving techniques that we're doing. Some of the students, those students in Hamilton, were saying to us when they did this challenge is that it's about us. So we're really thinking about our own thinking in this way. It's not a challenge that someone else has done or that there's already an answer, like we are part and parcel of it. And that was extremely, extremely useful. The third kit that we do have, so we've got the building community, we've got the AI, and the third one that's brand new that a number of students in TDSB are now experiencing is Afrofuturism. So you would have heard over the number of years of Black History Month. What we wanted to do is work with folks that really understood Afrofuturism, Black History Month, and making it more than a month, and making it more than what we've heard that sometimes is not always positive. So that's the big question, how might we make African Heritage Month and beyond meaningful to our school community? And the angle that is taking in this is about the arts, is about music, about books, and imagine the centering of Black culture. So like I said, it's just starting right now in TDSB, seems to be very, very useful, and we will have more information as we move forward with this challenge kit. So how might we create remarkable possibilities? So we're going to provide you with a little bit of information, more of the specific information if you are interested in hearing about it. And if you want, maybe your students, your children are already in programs like this. So Josie?
Thank you. And thank you for joining us in this webinar. If you'd like to connect with us, our information is on screen right here. And we're more than welcome to come speak to your parent committee at your local school or with your school itself to see how we can support you and how we can bring these challenge kids and I think to your school. Thank you very much and have a great day.
Thank you.